Okay, let's do a multi-tab episode. We're going to do some technical analysis. Have some people getting really scared of this run up here. And so I want to do some more shape kind of technical analysis, looking at volatility, look at the MACD, because the MACD is really important on these kind of turnovers. I just did a big VIX, like the TVIX overlaid on the S&P, and that isn't really predicting anything at this point because we're not in a consolidation area. But the MACD is going to be super helpful here for looking at what is happening here. And I guess this is the 1 hour candles. We get this wild MACD, and I've been using this recently to try to track where we're going to have a reversal point. And it looks like we got to our lowest peak here, and now we have kicked out to a higher peak here. So at this angle, I don't know how volatile we could get or how extended the red side could get here, but it looks like that's a pretty good angle peak up. Let's see, I guess let's try to get this to the shortest peak. It looks like it's here on the red side. So basically what I've been saying is that the red side of the 1 hour MACD is sort of the vol of vol, like how crazy the volatility is getting, and then the green side is kind of how high the volatility is overall. And you see like the you see like here the green and the red are big, so we get a really big volatility and a really big vol of vol, like a dangerous investment environment here. And then down here, this is kind of calmed down and the whole volatility range is down. But now we're getting this kind of bigger volatility movements, and we got a kick down on the red side now, and we're getting this angle out here. But this swing back hasn't done anything crazy on the green side. We're just still on this same exact level here. So it looks to me like the red side is going to get aggressive and the green side is just going to stay kind of in check. So far, that's what it looks like. And that's going to be increasing volatility, but more so increasing vol of vol, the insanity factor, more than just the straight volatility level. So that's a look at the little MACD, and it looks like we hit our lowest whatever vol kind of thing here, and this whole peak and this whole peak is all getting kind of crazy on this side of the chart. And then let's do a out to this guy, and this is the daily candle MACD, and this one is really useful for projecting turnovers in the cycle. So if we draw the cycle, we get this is like a month down, and it's 3 to 4 month cycle, and we're looking for a bounce and a bounce. Roughly in the credit contraction cycle, you get a couple bounces, and just using the credit contraction cycle model, all this says is usually the middle bounce is roughly sideways, and then the third bounce is incredibly hard to predict. I mean, it could be way down, way up, but we want to see this, and that's usually kind of in the sideways range from the bottom of the first one. And the MACD is the best way to predict exactly when you have hit this reversal point. It's a really important point. And you get this drawdown here on the MACD, and you come down to this point here at the bottom, which sets up the credit contraction drawdown, and then you will get a turnover here. So you'll get this kind of swooping line here, and this one will come down into red territory usually, and I don't know the date that will hit a bottom, but you usually get red, and then you get a really sharp reversal out of here. And this line here will probably be a little more kind of smooth across this area and then come back down. And it's when you get this max divergence and this peak right here on the MACD. And sometimes it does happen in green, but I mean the huge swings that we're getting now looks like it's going to swing back red pretty aggressively. And when you get this peak on the MACD, that's the exact day and time when you get the peak in the actual chart. And that is when you get out of your shorts. Get your shorts off. And this is not investment advice. This is Brian Lewis with MMT Investing. And I'm going to go back to the other chart and draw some swoopy lines that may be fun for you. So I mentioned before that these are Elliott waves here. So we get like an ABC corrective wave, and then we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like impulse wave here. And then that happens on two levels, where this ABC is really an A and a B and a C on a higher level. And we're looking for a C wave down here from the Elliott wave point of view. But I wanted to point out, I mentioned before that the Elliott waves are not exactly straight, and you can see that they're curved in this kind of model. When you're in this kind of credit contraction cycle, the waves get really exaggerated, and you can really see the shape of them. And you get this curved kind of wave here, curved wave. And then this wave is curved the other direction. And then that happens again on the large scale, where this whole one is curved down, and then this whole wave is curved up, and then the next wave is curved this way. And that is going to be really important even when you're looking at the smaller wave shapes. And because if you look here, you get these kind of cupped up shapes here. You get a bunch of these upward swoops when you reverse off the bull trap. And if you'll notice across here, like this whole thing is a curved up kind of shape, but also all of your moves are kind of rounded, upward rounded, where the peaks are down and you're going uphill. And then when you switch into this downward wave, you get these upward shape kind of cup movements where you see the thing is curved the other direction here, and it's curved the other direction here, and you get these kind of shapes where it's like this with lower highs like this, cups that go down, 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 and it's the curves are in the opposite direction, and the entire wave is actually curved in the opposite direction, not just the peaks. And you get a wave that's curved this way with peaks that go up, and it's just a completely different wave shape the whole time than this kind of wave movement that we've been getting here. And it looks like we got our first reversal cup kind of thing. What is it doing right now? Where are we? This thing is going crazy. So I've been trying to place this yellow line, and I started moving it up with this movement, and I'm like, it doesn't make sense to move it up to where it is now. I think this big rejection here looks like a big point. And I said like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, we had this kind of target for a back test, and then we got down to here, and I'm like, oh man, we're down so far. I don't think we can get up and back test this thing from all the way down here. And then as soon as I say that, it gets right up and hits it. And it hits this point that I said, if it gets here, like this is going to be like an impenetrable point, because this is our super long 12-year bull market line. And then trying to place this kind of tangent, and I'm like, bang, like that's a perfect spot, like right here. I've played with it on that down angle several times. And this is a killer spot where those two lines cross, and we rejected off of it, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's just gonna like scream down from there. And now we go and we run up across it, and and now I don't know, we don't have any more lines to work with to project where it's going now, other than saying it should reverse back down. I've seen some people draw this line across the bottom of these reactions as a line, and that's just parallel to the bull trap support line that we've already broken through, and it's not a real line, but I drew it in here just because some other people are drawing it. And I mean, I don't think. I mean, like we were back testing this divergence line a bunch out here on the way up, and that makes sense to back test this kind of wedge pattern and this divergence line. But this line is not like a back testing kind of line. This isn't even a real line. But I mean, I guess it's possible to back test on this bull trap kind of line, or I don't know. I don't know what the bull case would be here. We'll just have to kind of see overnight what this thing looks like, and I can work on the model a little bit. But right now, it looks like we've switched into this new um, this new wave shape, and that looks very bearish to me. And this whole reversal move, from technical analysis standpoint, I don't know. I haven't drawn the little wedge around this thing recently, and to see where this thing is. But we have we have this and kind of this wedge shape, and I mean we've just broken out of there, completely out of there, and this move here doesn't put you back into that wedge for sure. So we're in a new kind of spot over here, and I don't have a better projection than I didn't expect it to get above here. And I guess a bull case would just be kind of trying to stay up here, trying to consolidate above this thing. And the bear case would be just get back down and do these shapes. And we'll just have to kind of see overnight. I don't know what to call this video. It's just a bunch of kind of random technical analysis ideas I had, looking at the MACD and the turnovers and where we are in the cycle. It looks like the MACD is pulling down really hard. And if I go back over there, you can see what the MACD did last time. We got pretty steep, and we kind of did like a flat area, and then we did a pretty hard switch, and then we got down to kind of a flat area here, and this whole run up that we just got here did not increase the MACD at all. It's decreasing still, even during this like parabolic looking move up. And the MACD should continue to decrease as you get these parabolic moves up. The MACD is going to keep going down until we get to this kind of bottom point. In this cycle, that's what you usually see, and that's what I'm expecting. But it's a few points higher than the targets and the lines that I drew. So I'm just gonna have to watch this thing and see what it does overnight. And yeah, I don't know. Hit the like button, please. I don't know what I said. This is Brian Lewis of MMT Investing, not investment advice, just drawing crazy lines and stuff. So check it out. Draw your own lines, look your own stuff up, whatever. Ask me any kind of questions that you have, and I try my best to respond and like create whole videos to answer questions that people have. So feel free to chat. I chat in the comments. Say hi and happy trading.